Just feeling Grant's arms around her made her want to cry. She drank in his strength, knowing she could not face this alone. Grant stepped back and studied her. Cassie must have had her long, blonde hair cut off recently. Her face seemed to sag a bit, like she lost weight too quickly. The bluish-gray eyes looked older. These were changes that must have been there before the accident. Todd is not doing well. They have him in surgery now to see if there is internal bleeding. Is he on any medication or has any allergies? Cassie went blank. Allergies? Todd had a kidney transplant 5 years ago. His doctor has him on a different anti-rejection medication. Wait here. Cassie handed him a prescription she was supposed to drop off after work. Dr. Hood looked solemn as he read the prescription. Grabbing her elbow, they jogged through the door. Grant just came through. Stay here, he ordered when they reached surgery room number 2. Cassie melted into another stiff chair and waited for Grant. The surgery room opened and Cassie stood to greet the doctor, who approached her. Mrs. Rowe? I am Dr. Hawes. Can you give us any information about the lady who was with your husband at the time of the accident? With only reaching 5'2" tall, it wasn't very often she was able to look a man in the eye. Lady? My husband was at work. He drives a UPS truck. I wasn't aware he was training someone new. You would have to check with his boss. The Asian man looked confused. Mrs. Rowe, your husband lost control of the car and hit a guardrail on the highway. He was driving a red Charger. The woman was killed instantly, but she didn't have any identification on her. Do you think you could identify her? No, I can't. The room started to spin. Cassie sat back in her chair as Grant came through the door. Dr. Hawes, I understand the urgency of the situation, but I must insist anything else goes through me before approaching Cassie. Can you please send some water for her? Grant crouched down in front of her. This is going to be a pretty rough day. Do you need to lie down? Cassie shook her head. What else could possibly happen? It's been a rough 2 months, Grant. Before she could continue, Dr. Hawes returned with her water and crackers. I am sorry, Mrs. Rowe. Grant, Dr. Graham needs to meet with Cassie in the conference room. Dr. Hawes gave her a grim smile as he patted her on the shoulder. Take care of your sister. I'll cover for you. Her hand felt cold as he led her down the hall. Grant knew there was more to this than the accident, but what? Good afternoon, Dr. Graham. This is my sister Cassie Rowe. Cassie, Dr. Graham. Dr. Hawes is covering for me so I can be with Cassie. Grant moved his chair close so he could put his arm around her as she sat. Mrs. Rowe, your husband's injury was not as severe as it could have been because he was wearing his seatbelt, but it looked as if his transplanted kidney was damaged. He is in surgery right now awaiting the specialist. They are trying to stop the bleeding in that area. It says here he was recently put on prednisone. Has he had any side effects with this drug? Dr. Graham spoke slowly, but Cassie was still trying to process all the information. What kind of side effects would it have? Prednisone should be monitored closely to get the correct dosage and minimize the side effects. It is known for increased eating, increased sweating, indignation, mood swings, and hallucinations. Hallucinations? Like how?